Hi people, it's me Anja, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new recent release video. So, the first book on this list is called Viper, written by Hogan. This book is a YA fantasy and I ended up giving it 4 stars because it was so good. This book follows Melanie, who's fated to become the next Viper. And a Viper is the defender of the 12 Isles. This book was so good. Anyway, she's fated to become the next Viper, except the reigning Viper, who happened to be her dad, stands on her way. So that's fun. I really enjoy this book because A, this story reminded me of Fable because they're both sea fantasies and they both have to do with like boats in the ocean, and I love it. I love that type of world building because there's so much potential and this author did it so well. This book is the first in a trilogy and I'm so excited to read the sequels because I am certain that these sequels will pop off and be so good. I really enjoyed the world building in this book. I love the well-developed characters. I really enjoyed the fast-paced plot. This book is so underrated, and for what? Because it is so good. I believe that the second book is out already. The third book will come out next year. So yeah, we love to see it. I'm so excited to continue the series, and with that I highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called The Language of Ghosts. This book is middle grade fantasy and it's written by Fawcett. This book follows a trio of siblings who unlock a long forgotten magical language to reclaim their stolen throne. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed it more than Ember and the Ice Dragons, which is Fawcett's previous book. This book was so good. I enjoyed the world building. It was so well done. Fawcett does such a great job of sucking you into the world and making you care about these characters because I loved this trio of characters. They were so distinct. I really enjoyed them. The choice of having them all be completely different ages was such a good choice because it helped defenestrate them. You know what I mean? Like each of the characters was done so well. This book is also so underrated, and for what? Because it is so good. I absolutely really enjoyed it. The action-packed, fast-paced plot was also a really nice touch because this book is so good, and the cover alone is so pretty, and I'm so glad that this book was part of the books that I finished 2020 with, because if you didn't know, this recent release video includes all the books that I finished 2020 with. So I'm so glad that I was really lucky and blessed to finish 2020 on a really high note. So like I said, The Language of Ghosts was 4 stars and I highly recommend it because it was so good. The next book on this list is called Dangerous Remedy, written by Kat Dunn. This book is YA historical fantasy and I ended up giving it 4 stars. This book was so good. It follows Camille and Ada, who are both part of a group of friends who rescue those who are about to be guillotined, because this book is set during the French Revolution, and this book was so good. First of all, I loved the world building. Kat Dunn is such a good author, and the way that she crafted this world was done so well. B, I love the diversity among the cast of characters. Camille and Ada are both sapphic. We love to see it. This book was done so well. I am so excited for the sequel. It comes out in June. I think that there are more than 1 sequel. So yeah. But anyway, I'm so excited for that sequel. It comes out on June on the 10th, I think. And it sounds so good. Dangerous Remedy was 4 stars. So I'm certain the sequel will be so good. Anyway, aside from the cast of characters, aside from their diversity, the characters themselves were such good characters. I love them so much. I really enjoyed the action-packed, fast-paced plot. It was done so well. I don't think I even explained what the plot is about, but basically, like I said, Camille and Ada are part of this group of friends who rescue those who are about to be guillotined, but their most recent rescue doesn't really go as planned, so that's fun. Anyway, this book is so good. I absolutely really enjoyed it. And like I said, this book is so underrated. And for what? Because it is so good. So with that, I highly recommend it. like I said, I'm really excited for the sequel. So, yay.
The next book on this list is called The Circus
of Stolen Dreams. This book is middle grade fantasy and I ended up giving it 3 stars. It follows Andrea, who needs an escape after her brother's death from 3 years ago.
So she finds the Circus of Stolen Dreams. I enjoyed this book. I like the action-packed,
fast-paced plot. The characters felt likable and realistic to me. The world building was so well done. World building is probably my favorite element of fantasy. This book was so good. However, I didn't actually really love it. I think that it's because
I read many
similar storylines to this book
before in so many different aspects,
but I still really enjoy books like these
because each of them are distinct,
because the world building in each one of them is different, but the storyline itself is the same. So that's why I can't rate this book any higher than 3.5 stars. Although with that, I do recommend it because it was good and I did enjoy it. But like I said, because I've read many similar storylines, I can't rate it any higher than 3.5 stars. But with that, I still recommend it because it's still a solid middle-grade fantasy book. And also the cover is so pretty. And also again, it's really underrated. So yeah. The next book on this list is called A Curse of Roses. This book is YA historical fantasy and it was so good. However, there are 3 trigger warnings on this book that I really want to reiterate before I go into the synopsis of this book. So the 3 trigger warnings are religious-based self-harm, religious-based internalized homophobia, and religious-based eating disorders. So if any of those things trigger anything for you, I'd recommend not reading this book. So basically, I really enjoyed this book and I ended up giving it 4 stars because it was so good. I really enjoyed the world building in this book. I really enjoyed the action-packed, fast-paced plot. I really enjoyed the Portuguese representation as well as the Sapphic representation. This book was so good. However, the ending felt abrupt to me in the sense that A, I wanted more from it, and B, I felt like the ending of this book just stopped and then there was no more because I kind of felt like the author didn't really wrap things up completely, and I'm not sure if there are sequels to this book.
I haven't heard any
talk of any sequels, so I'm under the assumption that this book is a standalone, and it didn't really feel like a standalone, if you know what I mean. So
anyway, with that,
I ended up giving this book 4 stars because it was done so well. I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. Again, like I said at the beginning, please be aware of those trigger warnings. They all said in the beginning of the story, like they'll said before the dedication and before the table of contents, but I really wanted to include them in my review. So yeah, there's that. With that, I highly recommend this book because it was so good, and like I said, I gave it 4 stars. So yeah, we love to see it.
The next book on this list is called Rules for
Thieves, written by Alexandra Ott, who wrote Secrets of the Wild Realm, which was one of my favorite books of 2020. However, unfortunately, Rules for Thieves does not live up to the 5 stars that was Secrets of the Wild Realm, but I still really enjoyed this book and I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, and I am excited to read the sequel, which I'll be reading soon and probably will be talking about in my next recent release video. But anyway, this book was solid and was good, and it follows Allie, and after she is cursed by this deadly curse, she must join the legendary Thieves Guild
in order to figure out
to save herself. This book was solid and was well done. Alexandra Ott is a very underrated middle-grade fantasy author. She does such a good job crafting the world and these characters, and the action-packed, fast-paced plot was so well done. This book was done so well. I had low expectations for this book because I knew that it wasn't going to live up to the 5 stars that was Secrets of the Wild Realm, but this book was so good. Like I said, I gave it 3.5 stars because it was done so well. I am so excited to read the sequel because this world was so good. I'm so excited to dive right back into it. These characters are so wonderful. This duology is so underrated, and I know I've kind of overused the word underrated in this video,
but this book was so good. So with
that, I highly recommend it.
The last book on this list is called
Every Missing Piece, written by Melanie Conklin. This book is middle-grade contemporary, and it follows Maddie, who sees danger everywhere she looks. So when she meets a mysterious boy in the
woods, she suspects the worst. I really enjoyed
this book because A,
the action-packed, fast-paced plot
was so wonderful. B, Maddie really felt like a relatable, realistic character. And C, I
really enjoy how Melanie
balances both fluffy, bittersweet, heartwarming scenes with
more like
hard-hitting topics, you know what I mean?
Without those hard-hitting
topics becoming too overwhelming, and without the bittersweet, fluffy scenes becoming misplaced or too cheesy.
You know what I mean? This book was done so
well, and I was kind of afraid that this book would not live up to my expectations of Counting Time, which is Melanie's previous book, but it did. I would say that I enjoyed this book just as much as I enjoyed Counting Time. It was done so well. Like I said, this book is so underrated in the middle grade contemporary genre, and I would really recommend it for fans of the List of Things That Cannot Change and other books like that, because this book was done so well, and I really enjoyed it, and more people should hype it up because it is so good. So with that, I rated it 4 stars, and I would highly recommend it. So in conclusion, the highest rating book on this list was probably Dangerous Remedy, because even though I rated 5 books on this list 4 stars, Dangerous Remedy is the one that I enjoyed the most, and out of the 2 3-star books that I rated in this video, the one that I enjoyed a little bit less than the other one is the Circus of Stolen Dreams, because I prefer Rules for Thieves. Anyway, so in conclusion, if you enjoyed this book, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below why you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!